Hello， 大家好，我是 Neil。那这一集来分享一下这个2021年我个人认为最值得看的演讲之一，是由这个 Evolution 的 CPO Todd Haushalter 来做的这个一个演讲啊。它的内容核心其实是讲整个公司的创意产生，因为他们的公司其实非常重要的一个点，他们的所有的产品基本上都是以创意为核心点去出发做的。那他讲的内容呢，其实并不是仅限于他的这个垂直的这个博彩行业而言，而是整个所有映射所有的公司所以这个演讲在当时来看是比较有价值的。现在回味看的话呢，依然是对很多企业和投资者都非常有借鉴意义的一次演讲。所以我们这次来看一下啊，就废话不多说，我们准备3、2、1开始。
Maybe some of you are lucky enough to have one of these on your wrist. And they have a challenge, a big challenge facing them. And they need to have all the right ideas. That challenge is what? The digital watch. It's coming. And maybe they'll be lucky enough that as youngsters make money, they'll trade in their Apple Watches for Rolexes, but maybe not. But what do they do?Do they do some hybrid watch? Do they partner with Apple? Do they partner with Samsung? Do they go digital while they're holding on to their base? Do they try to go into new product lines? They need to have all the right ideas. And they're going to be good at getting those ideas and fleshing those ideas out. That's hard. And that's what I want to talk about today.
产生你的这个
simple notion
新的
of
创意
ideas.
很重要，你到底是应该怎么做呢？研究涉及到策略问题，对吧？所以本质上它是一个策略跟创意的一个点子结合的一个事情。
But Todd, why help competitors have bad ideas? Or have better ideas, excuse me.
为什么要帮这个竞争对手去 创造一个更好的生存环境呢？更好的创意呢？更好的点子。
And I just said it. We want a thriving industry. What is good for one is good for all. Even though it stings for a minute when you see a competitor do something.
他在Todd的眼里看来，竞争对手做得好，其实是一件非常重要的事情。因为他能把行业带动起来，然后如果你能及时快的跟进的话，整个环境对你来讲就完全不一样，你至少不会被时代所抛弃嘛。
Even your very existence started as an idea that your
他
father
讲
should
所有
probably
的
ask
东
out
西
your
都是源
mother,
于
and she
创意
thought,
本身，
sounds like a
一个
good
点子
idea.
本身。
But ideas are
但
fragile.
确实，创
When
意
they are
本身
young,
很
they're
脆弱。
very, very fragile. We think we know all the good ideas, and yes, in hindsight, it's easy. It's really easy to spot the zingers when you're looking backwards. Everything
马后
seems
炮的看呢，
obvious.
所有的创意看起来都很简单，但实际上不是这样，因为创意本身其实一个好的点子跟好的策略是有一定的预测性的，对吧？你本身在做创意的时候，等于是在预测一个未来。
It's really hard to predict the future. We think we're better at it than we are because we're good at predicting the past. But who could have possibly predicted an airborne virus?
对，没人能预测到新冠。
Basically a year and a half, and still going. That was almost impossible to foresee that there'd be no cruising, no hotels,
预测那是
no
太难了，所以没人能预测未来。实际上，这是一个矛盾的事情，听起来。诺基亚也是的，对吧？没有人能预见诺基亚的这个这么快的陨落，而且他输的对象并不是一个像诺基亚的企业，而是一个完全跟诺基亚毫不相干的企业，对吧？看起来是一个苹果电脑企业，最后做手机把它干掉。Uber 十几年前还不存在呢，你怎么能想象到一个手机能改变整个出租车行业？
The service would be terrible, and that you can't trust people, and they're going to take you on long routes. Those are actually all better. Or that the biggest threat to Marriott could be staying in other people's homes.
Airbnb 也是一个道理，你没想到住在别人的这个家里可以改变你。 对于整个酒店行业的这个认知啊，
In 1969, we put a man on the moon.
但不是每件事情都是会有进步或者进展的，对，比如登月这个事情，我们就有50年的停滞。对太空的探索。
Elon Musk comes along, he's making it interesting again, but it's been a pretty flat 50 years. For sure, in 1970, you would have predicted moon bases and all sorts of fun stuff like this.
在70年代，可能因为登月之后，你就在已经想象，2020年的人应该已经在月球上建基地了，但实际上并不是这样。
Who would have thought that in 1981,
超音速客机也是一个很好的例子。我们以前超音速客机存在的时候，坐飞机从北京到纽约的话，实际上时间比现在短得多。但由于安全原因，所以你看这个事情就往回走了。那这些讲的这些所有东西，在20年前都不存在，所以你很难预测这些东西会出现。
Tesla, Google Maps, Bitcoin, Amazon Alexa, the iPhone, and the Xbox. Now I gotta say, life was pretty good 20 years ago.
People willing to tell you you're wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, other than snarky journalists. I mean, people that work for you.
Oh, yeah. No, we have wonderful arguments.
And do you win them all? Or?
Oh, no, I wish I did. No, see, you can't. If you want to hire great people and have them stay working for you, you have to let them make a lot of decisions, and you have to be run by ideas, not hierarchy. The best ideas have to win.
So,
otherwise, good people don't stay.
But you must be more than a facilitator who runs meetings. You obviously contribute your own ideas.
I contribute ideas, sure. Well, why would I be there if I didn't?
乔布斯的意思就是说，你必须要让最好的创意胜出，而不是因为我是 CEO， 然后我给的这个创意或者点子就赢，不能用阶级来压倒这个好的创意，不然人是会好的人才是会走的。
Number one, you've got to get the right people at the table. Too often, we invite this person
需要让正确的人出现在正确的会议上，这个非常重要。他说
，It's disrespectful to invite people to a meeting where they can't sufficiently contribute. Get the right people around the table. Let every idea be good for 30 seconds. Maybe if it's really stupid, only 10 seconds. But give it a chance. Give every idea a chance. You only have people in the room that are worthy to be there, and so let it be a good idea for 30 seconds. If you shoot them down quickly, you're going to get a lot less of them.
至少让别人把创意的点子讲30秒以上。
This one you can use in your personal life.
不要用 but 这个词很重要，不要说但是。比如说你讲这个点子很好，但是怎么样？你的创意很好，你的这个策略很好，但是怎么样？不要讲但是。
In these meetings, if you become the but person, people get defensive. They want to come back at you and explain to you what you're missing.
最好的一个办法就是换位思考，是真正的换位思考，而不是表面上说一说而已。
And I'll say, I'll tell you what. You take my side, I'll take your side. And I'll go first. I'll argue why you're right. And then I will go. An amazing thing happens when you start saying out loud the other person's side. You just start seeing it better. Then they do the same for you. Then you can go back to your sides. But it really ends up bringing you closer together. This one's really, really useful when you're stuck. Celebrate and make a big to-do out of reversing yourself. You want to have a culture
当你
where the
换
best
位思
idea
考的时候，
wins.
再
That
回
means you
来
have to
回到
let
你
go
本
of
身的
things.
原位
And if
去
you
看待这个事情的时候，你会
show
客
your
观很多。
organization that you change your mind, then others will start changing their mind, and all that will rule
所
in
以
the
就会
end
形成一
is
个
the
良性的
best
循
idea.
环。每一个人如果都
People
这么
are
做的话
nervous
呢，
about this.
这
They
个
fear that
这
they're
个
going to
公
look
司就会形成一个良性的
inconsistent.
一个循环，
It's okay.
就会
All that
比
matters
之
is
前
the
的那个状
product
态要
that
好的
ships
很
that
多
the，public
对吧？
sees.
那种
That's
会议
it.
的状态
No one sees the
其实是
meetings.
非常低效率的。
And then I'm sad to
而且
say,
有一些人
there
是
are
不
some
可以
people
出
we
现
just
在
have to ban
这
from
种
our
会议上
meetings.
的，因为他们会
Number one is
损
this
害
guy.
到创意人员
He
的
can suck the energy out of
创
any
造
room. He's got a lot of
创
tricks
意
that
本
he
身，因为
uses to
创
do
意
it.
本身是
Sometimes
很
he
脆
just
弱的，点子
scowls
本身
at
是很
you
脆
like
弱
every
的，策略
idea
本
you ever
身
said
一开
is
始制定的时候
stupid.
是很脆弱的。
Sometimes it's Mr. Too hard. Sometimes it's Mr. Impulse. Sometimes it's Mr. Don't have the resources. The energy vampires.
他叫这些人叫 energy vampire，
Energy
这
vampires
些人
can
是
be
不
great
适
at
合
other
出现在
things.
这种会议
They
上。
might be great at execution. They might be great at detailing things. But they're not allowed to be in the idea sessions. This guy.
比如这种 idea
We all know this
repeater，
guy.
就是他讲
The
重
idea
复的
repeater, I think
一
it
个事
speaks
情。
for itself. Of course, there's bad idea.
Bad
guy. No
idea.
one likes to really talk about this.
就是
But some people just
给了一个糟糕的
specialize
点子。
in having bad ideas. They just do. It's okay. They're allowed to have bad ideas. It's not a crime. It doesn't make them a bad person. But it does make the meetings pretty unproductive.
但这些人糟糕的点子太多的话，你会降低整个会议的效率。
And then we're going to try to be respectful, and then everybody's going to kind of react to everybody else's idea. It's just not productive. There are people in your organization that are good at having ideas. Get them at the table. I like to use these.
然后用你的手机上跟电脑上的这些工具很重要 ，WhatsApp、Telegram、iMessage。
We're always shooting each other ideas in WhatsApp. Hey, what about this? What if we tried this? Hey, that problem that we're stuck on. Check this out.
说白了就是要保持沟通，一定要跟创意人员一直保持沟通。
Weird amusement game that they used to have in San Francisco, and it's just a constant idea factory, flowing back and forth. And if your gang says, I don't want to use WhatsApp. I don't want to interact after 5 p.m. or the weekends. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But it'd be highly unlikely that they're going to be great idea people. The great idea people want to be constantly going back and forth. You don't have to be responsive on nights and weekends, but use them. Make predictions. This is uncomfortable. You will see your team squirm. Before you launch a new product, predict what the day one revenue is going to be, the week one, the month one. If it's a game, how many players are you going to get? Force people, write it down, and then
要求所有的人员把会议的东西都要写下来，要做好一个记录。当创意产生的时候，当这个策略点子产生的时候，要记录它的这个生产过程，这很重要。
I certainly realized a whole bunch of blind spots that I have.
这样可以避免盲点。
Good ideas
这个很重要啊！好的点子是什么
？They're executable, they're cheap, they're fast, and they come early in the product development.
它的这个执行成本很低。
That building a space shuttle isn't a good idea, but those are the ones we talk about. Most of the ideas that we have in our companies are to, change the shape of a button,
然后很重要的是，它这个策略最好是在没有人执行的时候，相对来说。
Try a new marketing program or something like this. That's where most of the ideas live. They don't have to be big, grand ideas. And it's great if they're specific, executable, cheap, fast, and don't come late. And just for total clarity, the bad ideas.
糟糕的点子呢，就是完全相反，它很模糊，对吧？这个点子很不清晰。策略很不清晰，创意不清晰，然后很难执行，要花很多钱、很长的时间，而且已经有很多人做过了。
Very late in the game development and have it be an expensive one. If it's good, we'll do it. But boy, oh boy, it's sure better when they're easy. Give praise when people have good
give praise， 要这个鼓励创意人员，鼓励这些制定策略的这些人员，给他们足够的鼓励。然后作为管理者一定要 take the blame， 就是你要怎么讲？你要承担责任。好的时候一定要给大家足够的这个鼓励。其实有点像足球教练的概念，就是比赛输了，你要说这个责任在于我，踢得好一定就是小伙子们的功劳，对吧？我只是一个教练。这个其实听起来像是一句废话，但实际上很难做到。你要真的去倾听这些人员的声音，你的团队的声音。因为它重复一遍，因为创意策略本身一开始的时候是很脆弱的，非常非常脆弱。这个可以理解啊，因为很多那个好的点子跟创意，其实在初期的时候跟公司的那个执行人员的这个利益是相违背的。这个问题问得好，最大的赌场，市值最高的赌场是谁？Coinbase， 他觉得是 Coinbase。What
did you think I was going to say? They have a $75 billion, $80 billion market cap. And I'm having a little bit of fun.
当时是700-800亿的一个估值啊
，Coinbase. But not too much. Not too much. This is how people gamble now. It's a new way that people gamble.
我叫 Coinbase 是赌场的时候，只是有一点点想嘲笑它的感觉，但其实并没有太多。
Is these guys.
因为像 Coinbase 跟 Robinhood 这样的， 真的是大家现在就是把他们当赌场一样在赌博。
And they have weaponry at their disposal that online gaming companies don't have. They can sign you up when you're 18 years old under the guise of investing.
对，而且他们打的这个旗号是投资，所以这会改变年轻人对于这个博彩业或者赌博这两个字的心态，最终会影响到他所处的行业。所以你看一个真正的竞争对手也许并不处于你所能看得到的那个位置，而且是来自于之外的，来自于你的那个能力范围圈之外的这些公司可能会对你产生很大的影响。然后这么巧，这些有很多人免费帮这些公司宣传，对吧？因为 Robinhood 可以做这个短期的期权也好啊，这个股票炒短线的投资，他们觉得能赚钱，他们会做各种这个教程在网上，就好像其实所有的国家都有，对吧？炒短线的那些人会宣称什么3天翻5倍啊，这种吸引人的投资。
What are we doing working for a living? Seems like a nice guy. If you don't believe this is gambling because I say it, I'm a gambling professional. I know what gambling looks like. Let's see what the world's greatest investor has to say.
他把那个巴菲特搬出来了，就是来解释一下这是不是赌博。
On Apple, the number of 7-day calls and 14-day calls outstanding, and I'm sure a lot of that is coming through Robinhood. That's a bunch of people writing. They're gambling on the price of Apple over the next 7 days or 14. There's nothing, there's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing immoral.
He's saying he called them casino participants on Robinhood.
他把 Robinhood 的那些短线参与者叫做赌场的参与者。
gambling company in the world. It's great, but they're not treated like a gambling company.
但是大家在做这个事情的时候，并没有觉得自己是在赌博，对吧？
Disney builds new magic kingdom in sports betting. It was mentioned earlier.
去年的一个很大的新闻之一啊，就是迪士尼当时的 CEO Bob Chapek 宣布要大力的去做体育博彩。当然，这个策略可能到现在依然不会改变啊，他已经走人了，但是新归来的这个 CEO Bob Iger 可能还是会执行这个策略。然后 Todd 他说的意思就是说，你能想象吗？一个这样的公司，对吧？迪士尼居然会跳过来跟我这个博彩公司竞争，你能想象吗？
And they have unlimited money and resources. You know how much energy I've spent trying to license Disney IP? It's impossible. Sounds like I'm not alone.
觉得跟迪士尼竞争是听起来不可思议的一件事情。然后像这两家企业 ，DraftKings 跟 FanDuel， 他们也在做这个在线的这个博彩行业，对吧？体育博彩，但是其实他们的成长都不在这个里面做起来，他们是做 Fantasy 做起来的。就是一种幻想类的体育游戏，对吧？他们也不在传统的博彩业的这个视线内成长起来的，所以你的竞争对手往往真正的竞争对手并不在你的能力范围圈之内能看得到，它就是这个意思。
The only way we are going to stay competitive, the only way we are going to lead the future, the only way the people in this room are going to determine what people are playing in 2030 and 2035 is if we have better ideas and then ultimately execution, which is a whole different subject, but it starts with the ideas.
说最重要的就是你想要在之后的5年、10年继续有很好的成长，你必须要有非常非常好的策略和创意。这是一个最基础的东西，然后再谈执行，那是另外一个话题。
And I hope some of the tricks I've shared today are useful to you in your own companies. And if you ever find yourself as the CEO of Rolex or the Prime Minister of your country, and you can use these tricks, then super. Otherwise, you can use them in your own business. Because when one of us does something great, I'm telling you, it's good for all of us.
他说，当其中一家公司做了一个非常非常好的点子和创意执行之后，所有的人都会受益，所有的人都会得到好处。好，今天就分享到这里，拜拜。如果你有什么需要跟我交流的话，可以在下面跟我评论留言，记得订阅我的频道哦。